In this particular video, my friend, I'll be sharing with you the number one key thing that you can never, ever forget to actually do on a daily basis, all right? You don't want to miss this one. Dimitri here. As I was saying the other day, when Nelson Mandela was actually sent to Robben Island, and when he was basically number of arrests in 1962, and when finally stood trial in 1963 for the Rivonia trial, it was actually then sent to jail from 1963 all the way to 1973, 1983, all the way to 1990. The man was still beyond bars, and while he was still beyond bars, a key thing was actually happening. The first time I read about it, I simply said, oh my goodness, this must have been tremendous, because of course he was sent to a place, Robben Island, that was actually cold and wet and also dry. So, and of course, he himself described the place as a place of great challenges, because the first time they actually arrived there, they gave them just a cell and just a piece of mattress on which to sleep, and that's it. And of course, at night it was cold, and it was also wet, cold and wet. So you can imagine how tremendous the challenge was when it comes to the health of these people. But at one point, as he's talking, he says, the most difficult thing to actually deal with was the ghost, because of course each prisoner was actually in his own cell, and in your own cell you have to deal with the ghost that basically trying to actually creeping on you and start talking to you. And at first point I simply say, oh my goodness, he must have been talking about dead people that were coming to actually bug him and so on and so forth. But no! But after reading the book more precisely, more intently, I came to realize it was not so much the ghost in terms of dead people. It was simply the voices of doubt, the voices of unbelief that was simply creeping in on him to simply tell him, you know what, after all these sacrifices, look where you are now. After all these years of sacrifice, look where you are now. Your family is outside actually suffering on almost on a daily basis. You are on the inside, you have absolutely no money to send to them. Look what you have done to yourself. Where exactly are you going? The ones that seem to have moved on without you, what exactly is going to happen to you? You have a brand, you call yourself Mandela, you call yourself Madiba, but Madiba, what is happening to you now? You are a failure. So all these voices, all these ghosts coming at him almost on a daily basis when he was alone in the cell. These gentlemen simply said he had to find a way to deal with these voices. He had to find a way to deal with these ghosts. And when I read it, I started understanding. I said, yes, it is true. For every brand, for every promise that you're going to receive, my friend, is going to be a moment where the voices of unbelief, the voice of doubt are going to creep in on you, simply say, look at you now, what exactly is happening? And the same thing exactly happened in 1974, more specifically, I believe, October 30th, 1974, in Kinshasa, Zaire, when Muhammad Ali went to Kinshasa to actually fight his gentleman, this tremendous giant by the name of George Foreman. The night before the fight, at the place called Stadium of Main 20th Stadium, Muhammad Ali was in his change room with his people, and while he was in change with his people, he looked around, he noticed that all these people were completely looking somber, downcast, and he said to them, what is happening? Including his brother. He said, what is happening? Eventually, they confided in him, they simply says, no, champion, now you are the greatest, you are the best, but tonight we believe that this is going to be an insurmountable challenge. You are not going to be able to make it, and we can see how possibly you could go on your 20s to actually defeat this giant was still in his 20s. This giant was already defeated and annihilated Joe Frazier and Ken Norton. There is absolutely no way you can beat this guy, because he's basically at his prime and you are almost a has-been. Sorry to say, but there is no way you can win. So Muhammad look at them, he simply says, my goodness, I heard of these voices, the voices of the ghost, the voices of challenge and unbelief that will simply come at you and try to tell you you're not going to make it. But for the first time, I'm seeing these voices, I'm seeing these ghosts that have taken over my closest people. They've taken over the closest people that are supposed to actually help me up. But guess what he did? He started opening his mouth, he started speaking to boost himself, to simply say, no, I'm going to make it. He made it to the ring, and by the time he made it to the ring, he simply trying to boast himself by singing a song that basically learned from the local people, and the song was simply saying, Ali Bomaye, Ali Bomaye, Ali Bomaye, which simply means Ali go kill him. And the translation, of course, didn't make sense because it says this is a man in his 20s. How can it possibly go on to beat a man in his 20s? But guess what, my friend? Guess what happened? Guess exactly what happened. Eventually, that's exactly what happened, because George Foreman went down because Muhammad Ali took over the ring and simply found a way to destroy George Foreman. So why am I telling you these two stories? Nelson Mandela and Muhammad Ali, just to illustrate the fact that when you're actually dealing with something that has to do with kinesthetic intelligence, or you're dealing with something that has to do with cognitive intelligence or social intelligence, at the end of the day, when it comes to your brain, there's always going to be, in the journey to manifestation, a moment where basically you're going to be faced with tremendous challenges in the voice of the ghost or the unbelief that simply trying to actually challenge you. But the key thing to do, and this is basically the takeaway, the number one key thing you must never forget to do is to keep your mouth open. Keep your mouth open. Use affirmation to always counter these voices, because if you keep doing that, my friend, no matter what, eventually these voices are simply going to be drowned out. They're simply going to be silenced, and your voice is going to be the only thing watering the seeds of your brand that you want to actually see actually blossom and give you exactly what you're looking for. All right, so in the season again, keep your mouth open. Never forget to actually use affirmation to boost yourself up and to make sure that the seed of your personal brand always know that you believe in the seed, and you know that it's going to come to pass no matter what. All right, I'm gonna stop you right now. Happy Sunday, everyone. Know that I love you very much. The best is yet to come, and no matter what could be happening around you, keep your mouth open, keep your tongue moving, and let the whole world know, let the whole universe know that yes, you believe in the validity of your dream, and you believe in the validity of the seed that you are carrying as far as you are concerned as a personal brand. All right, the best is yet to come. But of course, before I go, 4 key things to do. Number 1, please make sure you smash the like button so YouTube know that we are delivering great value as far as what to do on a daily basis is concerned. Number 2, please make sure you leave a comment. Number 2, please make sure you share this video with as many friends and co-workers and even people you don't know as possible. But last but not least, make sure you subscribe if you have not already done so. All right, thanks again for watching. Looking forward to sharing more with you in the days to come. Until then, take good care, and remember, the best is yet to come. And as soon as the membership is open, make sure you actually apply to see if you can qualify to be part of the select few that are going to be working with me when it comes to what we do in the background. All right, love you so much. Take good care.